Anyway, we're not going to be doing this alone today. Time for us to talk Champions League football. We did see some action yesterday, and we expect to see more tonight in Europe's Premier Football competition. And joining me today to discuss this is Olatunji Pedro, who is joining us from somewhere in Lagos. But before we do bring him in, let's quickly go over the results from yesterday. AC Milan reached the Champions League semi-final for the first time in 16 years. That's since they won the title in 2007, after having to survive a barrage of pressure at Napoli last night, thanks to a first-half goal from Olivier Giroud that secured a 1-1 draw and 2-1 aggregate victory. Napoli battled until the end, but could not break down the resilient Milan defense until Victor Osimhen equalized 3 minutes into stoppage time with a bullet header, but it was too late as the referee ended the match just seconds later. And now Milan will face either city rivals Inter or Portuguese side Benfica in the semi-finals. Let's welcome Tunji Pedro to the show this evening. Tunji, good evening. Thanks for joining us on the show. Olatunji, can you hear me? You have to unmute your mic. All right, looks like Olatunji are not ready to join us at the moment. Maybe some internet issues. But of course, like I did mention, AC Milan.
Can you hear me now? Am I clear now?
Olatunji, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
All right, fantastic. We're talking the Champions League. AC Milan yesterday getting a fantastic result against Napoli at the Estadio Diego Armando Maradona. They did get a great result in the first leg, 1-0, and just had to find a way to not lose. They came to Napoli. First half was all Napoli, chance after chance after chance. But AC Milan did hold their own. Rafael Leao and Olivier Giroud ensuring that Milan are in their first semi-final in 16 years.
Well, the thing is, Milan reminded us why they are champions because I think a lot of people have beaten them up this season, especially the fact that their league form has been so poor and they've not really been able to challenge for the title that they won last season. Stefano Pioli had struggled towards the tail end of last season, just tail end of the year, just before the World Cup started, and Milan's form was a little bit iffy. But if there is a team that Milan actually has their number, it's actually Napoli. And that game yesterday showed that Milan knew what they were doing because they knew Napoli was going to come at them. They knew Napoli was going to try to make sure that they score an early goal. And they also knew that they had tools to actually exploit Napoli's space in behind the back. Now I'm talking about Rafael Leao, Olivier Giroud, and then of course the likes of Brahim Diaz. But I think the most important thing that Pioli did yesterday is the fact that he was able to move Ismail Benacer away from being a defensive midfielder and more into an attacking role, in the sense that he was able to neutralize the likes of Stanislav Lobotka and Zelinski. And Napoli missed Zambo Anguissa as well because of the fact that he's able to move the ball from the midfield to attack. But more importantly as well, I think Napoli were a little bit wasteful, especially Scalia, because he got into good positions that he could have squared the ball to Victor Osimhen, but he didn't, and in the end, Napoli lost the game. But in the end, though, I think I think Milan deserve to qualify because Stefano Pioli got his tactics spot on. Luciano Spalletti basically just sent out his team to do their thing. But when it comes to ties like this in the tail end of the Champions League, you need to be able to come up with something extra and special. And unfortunately, Spalletti wasn't able to do that. I think he just decided we're going to play the way we played in the Serie A, which is Kvaratskhelia, Osimhen, Politano. Milan expected all this. There was absolutely nothing special about the way Napoli played, even though they had a lot of chances. And then, of course, there's Mike and Maicon at the back, which is their goalkeeper. Since his comeback from the injury, Milan has improved defensively, and it showed from his penalty save from Kvaratskhelia in the second minute of that match. Because the fact that he was able to save that penalty ensured that Milan were able to ride out the storm, even though they were able to score in the end through Osimhen. So all in all, I think Pioli outthought Spalletti, and I think kudos to Milan. They definitely deserve to be in the semi-finals of the competition because we need to understand as well that they have yet to concede a goal in the knockout stage so far.
So what does this mean for Napoli? Because, I mean, they've had a fantastic season, 4 points clear in the league. I mean, they would most likely win the Scudetto for the first time in 33 years. But in what has seemed like a really good season for Napoli, they've just tailed off a little bit in the last couple of weeks. And I think that Napoli would be disappointed to have lost out to a team that has been heavily criticized in the manner in which they've defended. I mean, they are defending champions of the Serie A, and they haven't done it very well. There's been criticisms of their recruitment. There's been criticisms of Stefano Pioli, like you mentioned. And, I mean, if you were in the Napoli dressing room, I would like to assume that you'll be disappointed with that result yesterday.
Well, yes, definitely. But again, life is full of unseen circumstances, and of course, the big what if is the fact that Ivo Osimhen was fit for both the league fixture that they lost 4-0 at home, and of course the first leg of the game. What would have happened? Because we saw the impact of Osimhen in that game. He scored the only goal that Napoli scored in this time. But all in all, it's been a fantastic season for Napoli because they are 14 points clear at the top of the table. This is a league title that everybody didn't expect them to win. Of course, recency bias would probably say that, yeah, this is a tie that they should have won. This is a tie that they were the favorites to win. But the Champions League does not really play out like that. The Champions League is storied. The Champions League is full of history, and Milan has this history and Napoli doesn't. So they don't really need to say that it's been disappointing. Yeah, it will hurt them, but come May, when they are celebrating in the sunny city of Naples, winning their Scudetto, as their first Scudetto since the days of Maradona, they would forget to yesterday night and move on. So they shouldn't really be that disappointed. They have next season to go for it.
All right.